can do a lot on a lot of maps. So here we go. Into the action we go. And AVANGAR on that T side. They love a good T side. And HellRaisers on the CT side. Cannot wait to see what HellRaisers can do here. They will spot the push. And that's not a welcome sight. He's alone, and he is dead as Sanji picks up the kill.
Forced away from his initial angle, he could do nothing to stop the T's from making their way through the choke point. There's a really interesting round from FaZe where they made a play like that on a pistol round, but Olofmeister was up front. He was bunny hopping backwards to try and take all the bullets and avoid getting shot in the head, but here we go, still successful for AVANGAR. This is a tight spot for HellRaisers. It is a pistol though, so maybe that makes things marginally easier for them. Maybe not easy though. Jame under the window, can't find the headshot just yet. They're all trying to make their way through. Oscar's a brave one, 180 headshot from him, and another one on Sanji as well. There's a kill onto Angel, and now Bus is in a 1 versus 3. They've cleared out all the different positions. Oscar swings wide, stop him from focusing on the bomb diffuser, and there is Issa to hold things down, and the pistol round for HellRaisers.
That's a hero play in half from the likes of Oscar. Just he's the guy that runs through the doors there. You can see the teasing, Angel teasing around the window position. They desperately needed somebody to either get a pick or for somebody to go in, and the pick wasn't coming, so Oscar was the man that decided to go in, and here we can see him making his way forwards. There's the first frag, and that's what allows them to move forwards as a team, and that's a beautiful second kill, and the third one as well is stunning. Great display, and that's what you want to see. If Oscar gets himself going right at the beginning of a Dust 2 on a CT side and picks up the AWP and gets scout headshots as well to boot, that's a huge problem for the likes of AVANGAR. And Issa going deep there into the lower dark area, and he's going to get taken down eventually, but look at HellRaisers go. They're against a force buy. Their weaponry is actually worse than the T's.
And it goes from bad to worse.
Yeah, they're getting punished now for being aggressive.
Yeah, dropping the Krieg after planting the bomb. And we're in a 3 versus 3. Love to see Oscar in a nice open map. Feels like it's been way too long. Nuki's got to be careful. You can see Keycut lurking behind blue. He's going to see him. Oh, he is. The bell is rung, but Keycut survives with 2 HP. French gun not doing enough damage on this occasion. 2 versus 3 now. Minutes on the clock for AVANGAR. The bomb makes its way towards long. And you can see HellRaisers being proactive. Oscar having a look through the middle doors. And they start to rotate towards the A bomb site. Lowell has a flash. If he can pick the right timing and flash Oscar in, we could see a multi-frag.
He certainly could. It's not looking bad at all. All the smoke is down in a timely fashion. Will that be helpful, though? Oscar finds himself straight through the smoke with a double, and that's now 30 seconds to get the bomb and plant it. He has to go forward. He's got 2 HP. There's nothing he can do, and that is, in fact, a beautiful play, just like you say. Oscar was in a position to succeed, and the smoke ended up actually hurting AVANGAR, making things look more confusing as that flashbang came through, and Oscar found the perfect timing to push through, and what a stunning round from him. In fact, round 1 and round 2, all the rounds so far, Oscar's been the key element. He's 6 for 2 now. It's
so important that Lowell's flash went towards the site as well. If it went through the smoke, then there would have been a 180 and Oscar probably would have been traded. But the fact you put it in the right position allowed that to happen in the first place. So good attention to detail with the flashbang thrown in the first place. And now AVANGAR's force buy has failed. It looks so good, but one flash can make a hell of a difference. That's why you got to learn to flash for your teammates, people.
Well, I like this buy here, from AVANGAR. This is stuff that they like to pull out from time to time. You get one player sacrificing their money, not necessarily always all the money, but we see that is the case here. The Krieg is dropped for Keycut, who gets himself Kevlar and a helmet, and he has a smoke grenade as well. So you can see the plan.
But what is the purpose, Dan? What is the purpose? Got to explain the purpose.
Yeah, the plan is a single smoke goes on crossover, and you can see that Jame actually gets the pick with the scout, actually, and they can make their way towards the A bomb site. They have to take the bomb site, though, and Issa's up there. He'll get taken down by Jame. Good stuff once again from the scouts, and Keycut still alive. He's the power player here for AVANGAR as he jumps up on top of the box here, on top of the bomb site, going for the plant, but he's a bit open here. I think there's a player, and Gandalf, absolutely, Oscar's there. But Jame, in the meanwhile, has picked himself up a Krieg. There's more damage to be done here.
Just about getting there in time. He is very susceptible to penetration shots as well, especially with no armor, but that will be that. I guess worst case scenario with the Krieg buy, they can keep the CT economy humble even if they lose the round, and I think it's fair to say that they've done that. So with the rest of the team being able to buy rifles, that is something that they could capitalize on. So it's a calculated risk in that respect. Beautiful angle from Jame there. and a lot of damage done. Only 2 players surviving for HellRaisers. So for the cost of one person being short, one person having a UMP instead of a Krieg, I think that's a pretty good look for AVANGAR.
Yep, and a good look for Oscar. He's, well, not anymore. He was
Dead
averaging
now,
3 kills a round. He got 3 kills in round 1, round 2, and round 3, but now he's been eliminated as he picks up the AWP, which has been collected by the likes of Issa. Decisions to be made by HellRaisers. This is the nightmare scenario. Any very top-level team in a position where you get a fast pick against the CTs on Dust 2, you have this beautiful position. This is the most standard setup that you expect to be up against. 2 on the B-bomb site, 1 on the A site, and 1 on long. That's very, very standard. And a lot of teams will actually just go, like, if you go to B, you get a B split, those 2 players have no help on the B-bomb site. If you decide to go towards A, you can isolate either the long player or the player playing the site really easily. So you're always playing against 1 or 2 players at most, at very most. And with all the utility that AVANGAR have, that is a huge advantage to be playing with.
50 seconds on the clock. There are Molotovs for AVANGAR. They've got smokes to drop on top of short for their setup if they want to get that deep Molotov towards the ramp, for example, where Angel may choose to stand. There's the first smoke. And you can see that gives them more space to throw that deep Molotov, which forces Angel from his position, and that is a perfect execution of that. Ooh. He's got nowhere to hide, tries to jump up, gets slammed down. Now, they're probably going to go for the short plant and hold on to the short position. You can see them repositioning there. So they bring the numbers towards the site in case trade frags are needed. Once they establish that that's not the case, they go back to hold down the short position and plant the bomb for short. HellRaisers out of position, 2 players on the B bomb site. They will be looking to save in this situation.
I really liked the cat boost smoke that we saw from AVANGAR there, because we could see that it's designed to prevent any CTs that are on the low ground from getting headshot angles. And that's all it's there to do. But that was very effective. I don't think I've actually seen any other teams doing that in all of the games that I've casted in the last while, that's for sure. So really looking forward to seeing that detail play out, because we didn't see it in this round. So one key thing to focus on here is actually if HellRaisers keep 3 players alive, which it looks like they will do, so that's very good for them. But going back to that, you know, that is often a problem for the T side, because they'll often play in their default in a way such as they will threaten the B split and then go for the A play. And when you threaten the B split, what happens is you'll likely be up against 2 players on the B-bomb site, and then 1 player will drop off the A side in towards CT spawn. And so that's at least 1 player that will be playing the headshot angles around the ramp position. So if you drop that smoke, that player has way less to work with and has to go much deeper and is in a more committed position to have any visibility on the players running across catwalk onto the A-bomb site. So that's a cool little detail from that set piece from AVANGAR that I haven't seen from other teams just yet. I'm sure there's other teams that do it, but you got to do it at the major.
Do it on land.
Yeah. Oscar back in the AWP. He's got to be fuming, James. He's getting 3 kills every round, then he got beasted in the previous round by James. James looking for it again.
Well, can't ride on old successes for too long. Plenty more rounds to come. These frags were good and they were helpful, but more will be required. Ooh, Angel caught in no man's land, lucky to get away, especially because he's got an MP9. He can't even take a fight with that from that position unless he has some fortune. All the smokes from long, and there'll be a gentleman's agreement to fall back, at least for HellRaisers. Angel can't really... I mean, well, with an MP9, I suppose he could do some, but with everyone alive in a full buy round for AVANGAR, you'd expect players to be... Like, if they went towards the A bomb site from long, you'd expect some players to stay long. So if you went for a pop flash play, people would be waiting for such a thing to happen. Oh, James spots the head. 1, 2, 3 crosses of the dome. Angel doesn't want to give him too many opportunities. I wouldn't get too curious for information. So again, James likes to hold angles one way or another through that mid position. They have long AVANGAR. He's spotting for information, looking at what the opponent might try to be doing. We can see Oscar's boosted up. That scope will surely be heard by Buster. He seems to be walking to have a look. Now, you can flash... Oh, there's no time. Never mind. That's a different type of flash. But AVANGAR will use the numbers to take the short position. Now they've taken long. Try and force the will onto HellRaisers. Buster will get a kill. 3 kills in a short few seconds from AVANGAR, and that is the round over. So I like it. They held in long. There was no retake attempt from HellRaisers. They saw there was aggression on short, which is standard. You lose long, you push short, you have to hold short. So they leave 1 player long, rotate the rest towards short, abuse the players there, and the round is over.
That's a really scary prospect too, because, as you say, like, ideally, on the CT side, you don't want to give up long because it is it's much easier to be in a situation where you hold long and your B players, if you lose the A bomb site, your B players can retake from catwalk and you can sandwich onto the A bomb site for the retake. That's kind of what you want. You don't want to be stuck on short and having a situation where you've given up long. And AVANGAR showed that in that scenario, they're going to just crush the short defense.
What I was going to say is from when you go down into a lower tunnel, often you'll find 2 Ts boosting behind the box to have a look. But you can also pop flash, which doesn't hit the ceiling or a wall and lands just below the arch. So somebody is looking into the short position, you can flash them. So if you're there on your own and no one's there to boost you, for example, there is a flash. Excuse me, I think it's a left-right click flash. But there is a flash you can do to force people from that angle as well, so look out for that. I know that the Vitality boys know that one, so you might see it in one of their demos. Anyway, it is anti-eco territory for AVANGAR. They've taken the B bomb site. Now we'll see what HellRaisers choose to do. You can see AVANGAR very aware. They've got Kika on the Mach 10. Get that bonus money. May come in handy in the rounds to come. HellRaisers don't want to give them that bonus money, so they will simply move away.
Yeah, and it's another point too for the T side that if they are forcing those CTs on that catwalk position, it's much easier to deal with the CTs with utility, as you sort of started to mention with the flashbangs and so on. Like it's just like this one little L corner type corner. It's just that you can just bombard that with utility. And so HellRaisers, I guess what we're leading up to with kind of talking about how that round went, they need to find a way to hold on to long really. And that might be, it might be just starting with, as teams do, 3 players on long and just really fighting for it tooth and nail. I think that's more of an answer there than just giving it up, because you don't want to allow AVANGAR to do what they want. Being in a position where you can deny the Ts something that they want is really important. Otherwise, they get into a position of such comfort and confidence. But here we go, 3-3. James going deep for the jump shots, the gap shots. Again, he's been pretty good with those, usually getting damaged. And then we've got a 4-man response towards A here. Now, you've got to be careful that you don't overcommit towards this A bomb site. Obviously, once the rush timing is gone, they'll spread out. But in the meantime, Lowell's been left alone. He's got no nades left on the B bomb site.
Buster invites some counter grenades or perhaps an over rotation, and indeed 2 players are making their way over towards B from A. And again, with James lurking with an AWP, you really got to be careful going past those middle doors. There is a smoke up for the time being. I did mention that next to this Xbox, you will hold an angle there. We haven't seen that quite yet, but I'm sure it is to come. And what does the Dren have in mind here? Ooh, we got gimmicks. What is the meaning of this?
Oh my god, that's so cool. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, that's so sick. Dren. That's so cool.
Why is it cool, Dan?
It's just cool because it's like a way to instantly do an Xbox smoke without any lineup. It looks really, I don't know how consistent that is, if it's kind of glitchy or not, but it looks pretty consistent yeah, from what he did. But there's more to talk about in this round with HellRaisers doing that 4-man A stack. If AVANGAR knew that, they can just go for a delayed long take, and that would be extremely strong. But you can see that this is the setup that I was talking about before, where you've got 2 players kind of defending the A push from long here on the CT side of things. B players can go towards catwalk, although there is a player lurking pretty deep there, Sanji, in the upper tunnels, looking to catch Issa, but Issa will take him down. And this is the smoke we were talking about. Look at the lurk over the top of that smoke. Look how strong that is for a Dren. It's very difficult to deal with. And AVANGAR will get the plants and a 4 versus 4 to boots.
AVANGAR have gone deep in the short position. Now, will they go to... Looks like there's going to be a flank in them in the CT spawn area rather than long. There are 2 players coming up long, one of which is Oscar with the AWP. Issa taken out in the meantime. James spotting a touch of a helmet. 1 player's gone past. 2 versus 2 now, and it's just Oscar alone. He won't last very long either. AVANGAR looking pretty sharp on this T side, it has to be said. After losing the initial 3 rounds, it's been all AVANGAR. It's been meticulous, it's been sharp, and it's been very focused.
Oh, yeah. This has been really, really cool to watch just because of... I can see you writing your notepad. You're definitely writing down... I think you've written down the 2 smokes, right? I guess the cat boost smoke and the smoke that we saw. Oh, it's beautiful. A couple shots there from Dren. But yeah, I was going to make the point that if if you condition the CTs to over commit towards long at the beginning of the rounds, then they have to rotate really quickly across the map. So you can go for delayed long take timings, which kind of that's a way to counter that play from them, because they're overly concerned with the rush timing. So you just let them do that, so you're not playing into their position of strength, and then you play into the position of weakness, which then appears later when they're either one or max two players towards that long position. And obviously this is a safe round here for HellRaisers, a few Deagles, but that's about it. And but I guess the point I'm making here really is that AVANGAR really have HellRaisers at this point wrapped around their little finger in terms of how they're conditioning them on this map. Nice shot from Issa though, 4 versus 4. 4 versus 3. It's made it a little bit easier thanks to the work of James.
AVANGAR are so good to learn from on the T side. They always have interesting things to look at. Oh, we didn't do Go TV pick for this one. Who do you think, Dan?
I would have said Oscar. It's just because of, I mean, but I think Nuki for the T side of HellRaisers. I'm really curious what he'll deliver. So
what about the first half?
But as far as the first half is concerned, so far James has been pretty effective with the AWP. If that's what something that you're interested in. But otherwise, a Dren would be the pick for me. We already saw some great stuff from him. So
marvelous.
But there's a lot of players you can watch here, and you can't really go all too wrong.
Don't forget, guys, who are tuned in, make sure your Twitch account, if you're watching on Twitch, is connected to your Steam and so on, so you get those that pick'em thing where you have to watch a match. It records one of the matches. If you're not in Go TV, then make sure your accounts are connected and so on, so you're ticking all the boxes. 5-3 for AVANGAR. Again, beyond the pistol, really, HellRaisers have been struggling versus the T prowess of AVANGAR here on Dust 2. And AVANGAR, who are fully equipped. The same cannot be said for HellRaisers. They're short of a few grenades here and there, and very lacking in helmets, which isn't a big deal considering they're up against an AWP and 4 AK-47s. James takes a shot at 152, doesn't make a connection though. Oscar flash off his initial angle, smokes her up, and it's a fast take of the short position, or most of it. You don't really want this sniper moving forward from this area. It's the riflers who need to make that play, but James is confident enough to do it anyway. He's got a Molotov in case somebody's on the ridge of the short position. Ooh, was that a headshot? I think that was a headshot.
Dren, he knows his timings, his angles. He's lethal. Yeah, this is so methodical from AVANGAR. Really enjoying this so far. They've got catwalk control, so this looks like a normal default, more or less, in terms of getting capped by like anywhere between like 1 minute to the 120 mark is when defaults typically will be occupying catwalk. And at this point, you can harass the A sites. You can try to threaten the B split and drop a smoke on the the B split smoke, try to pull a CT down. And then if you were able to pull a CT down into CT spawn, your A push becomes a lot more successful. But this is a good setup for HellRaisers. Having Nuki on Goose will be strong. And look, here go the smokes again. The execute from AVANGAR will be strong, but can HellRaisers have a better go of things?
Lowell has a flash that he could throw for Angel, but he's got problems of his own because it's a two-man push in that long position. One of them's gone back, and in the meantime, Nuki's taken out. It's pulled Angel out of position. But there's that flash I was talking about. He's going to have a look. They're lining up for him. He won't spot a Drendo, but that's a beautiful shot from him. I thought he was going to get traded. The bomb's been planted. Bastard's in trouble. And now it's just Kika at 1 versus 2 in that long position, trying to hold the area down. Oh, he's going to go for the rotation, but will he get there in time? They could go for a boost. Neither of these players have a kit, so he's going to have time based on that fact. There might be one on the site. They're never going to check short. This is unbelievable.
Here he goes. They have no idea. Quick kill onto Oscar. It had to be fast. He goes deep for the headshot. Issa is down as well. Great stuff from Keycut. Goes for the big brain play, the big rotation all the way around. What a stunning result. And hits both shots. He commits deep with those peaks.
That
He's
was
not messing around.
That was awesome. It's not every day you're going to see a rotation like that round the world. Beautiful play again. Lower with the flash support in this game has been really important. Angel got more than you expected, especially because he didn't initially spot a Dren. But he gets a kill regardless, but that rotation was gangster. 2 AWPs now coming out for HellRaisers, Oscar and Issa on the second one.
This is so cool to watch just because I feel like, you know, I can't say that, oh, you know, HellRaisers are just like they're missing the mark, you know, they're not performing, you know, this is like, you know, anything like that. I feel like the focus is actually just on how well AVANGAR are playing. I think they're playing a really good Dust 2. They seem so very prepared, just by some of the details we're seeing out of the utility, the timings, how, like, Adren has clearly been putting in a huge amount of individual work, or work on his individual game, I should say. And I have some points about that, maybe to make later when we're not in the buy round, about Adren specifically. But he's been playing well. Although, speak of the devil, and, well, he's dead. And now it's a 4 versus 5 for AVANGAR to work off of. So what do they have? This is a nasty off angle. Surely they will never expect Oscar to be here.
It's a two-man setup as well. Two-man setup from HellRaisers. Oscar eating a flashbang from his teammate, but he's got Angel right behind him, so trying to force things into their own hands. He's blind again, and they're both going to get taken out. So they're trying to make forward responses to these plays from AVANGAR, but there are so many flashbangs, and they get wiped out completely. And I don't know if there's much for HellRaisers to do at this point. 2 players on the B bomb side. They have control of long, but when you don't have short on the retake, you're coming in from CT. It's horrible. It is horrible.
It kind of felt like that flashbang from Angel that completely blinded Oscar, that could have been communicated a lot better, so that either Oscar looks away and then can peek with the flashbang, or at least just looks away so that, you know, so he doesn't get full blind. It's just something like that, you know. It kind of looks a little bit clumsy. Nice boost there to check pit. Beautiful stuff. All the details coming in here from AVANGAR. And this is kind of the stuff that I was talking about earlier as well, that AVANGAR are a team, they've been around for a long time. Obviously, Adren is new into the lineup, but what a pickup they managed to get with Adren. But they're a team that's been together for a long time, and one of the things that was always very remarkable about AVANGAR is that they are their tactical play is often being pretty stunning, and their team play as well, it backs it up nicely with, you know, very large amounts of individual skill. And, you know, very quick point about Adren. As I said, you know, one of the most experienced players in the game, great personality in the game, and representative ambassador to Counter-Strike, I would say. And he's had some great interviews. One where I think he read a book that detailed, you know, training. I think it was from Michael Phelps' coach or something similar to that. And he's talking about, you know, training methodologies and how he reached the peaks of his individual skill and the kind of the modes of practice that he applied to do that, and the amount of work that he put in. It's like he's a very serious player. And one of the things with the older players as well is that what happens is their skill doesn't go away, but their hunger kind of diminishes over time as you get more achievements, as you've done more and more things come into your life. You know, the hunger diminishes. But Adren, he seems hungry as ever, and that is such an important factor.
7 rounds in a row for AVANGAR. 7 rounds in a row. Deserved rounds as well. 1 minute on the clock, and they take their time. Oscar creeping in the mid position. He knows he's got to do something. He could see a foot if he creeps around that smoke, but again, it does work both ways. Although he's got more distance from the smoke, especially with the elevation. So you've got to be real careful about what they choose to do here. A jump pass, you can see he's ready for it now. Eats a flashbang, takes a shot, no connection. Now they know what AWP is. That is the most dangerous weapon they have information on. They'll move away from it towards the B-bomb site.
They are actually rotating everyone through the tunnels here, and this is a bold play. It can work out really well as they put a lot of focus for the CTs towards middle, but they're getting decimated. They can't make their way through the smoke. 4 of them die without even seeing a single player. That is not a good sign. And, you know, the way that they designed this round was to put a lot of emphasis on plays around CT spawn, getting maybe a player to walk out of B, and so that there would only be one in the B-bomb side at the timing that they rushed through. But HellRaisers had 2 ready and waiting. So that play fell flat, James. And as you said, though, they did pick up before that 7 rounds in a row. So overall, you know, everything's been going fairly well.
Yeah, but they gave HellRaisers an extra buy in that round. 4 rifles picked up by HellRaisers. So I understand they're trying to move away from the AWP, but maybe time worked against them there. Try to, force their hand through the smoke on the B-bomb side. Never an ideal situation, especially when you're essentially on an anti-eco round. So not 4 rifles, 2 AKs. collected at the very least. They had 2 rifles at the beginning of the round, but either way, it's a lot of bonus money for the squad. Now, can they get some momentum off that? Still a 3-round lead here for AVANGAR. We've got 2 players close to long looking to do something, and 2 waiting in lower tunnel. As you can see, Issa is here. That's not the pop flash I was talking about, but it is the same, effectively the same thing. Adren not expecting to play a lower tunnel. Cheeky frag for Issa, and Angel's top mid. HellRaisers taking the game out of the hands of AVANGAR now. Maybe we'll have a close score at halftime.
Absolutely. Still time for recovery, though. For AVANGAR, they can still try to fashion some sort of a comeback in this round, as we'll see Buster take over the mid position, which was once occupied by the CTs, making a walk forwards. There's 5 CTs left alive, so you'd imagine that they would have eyes everywhere. Oh, that is stunning there from Buster. Great reaction shot onto Oscar as he'll smoke away middle. 2 smokes in mid, and they are committed towards B now. What a beautiful opening. And now there's only 1 man that stands in their way. Issa, as Angel comes through, will take down Buster, and that is unfortunate, because now it's down to the players from the tunnel's position. They're taking things a bit too slowly here. They need to get a forward position. The trade onto Issa is not realized, as HellRaisers will close down the round, and they don't lose too much else for it. Just 1 player lost. A brilliant frag from Buster, but that's all that AVANGAR had when all is said and done in that round. And despite the 7 rounds in a row of AVANGAR and how good they looked, due to the opener and Oscar, helping HellRaisers get those first 3 rounds, now HellRaisers are up to 5. So it's not looking bad at all. However, AVANGAR, they can still keep the dominance going here, because we do get a tactical, so they are reflecting on past rounds, on the directions that they want to go in, what's worked, what's not worked, and so have a plan of attack, get everyone on the same page. And here you can see, as James, the way that James put it was, taking the game out of AVANGAR's hands with that mid-push. Very good to throw in maybe once a half on the CT side. You can't do it all the time. It's pretty exploitable. But another buy-in for AVANGAR. What have they got to show us?
Okay, just a dry peek from Oscar, and he'll be punished for it. So, the swing of momentum can change pretty quickly and look like it was firmly in the hands of HellRaisers, but maybe it's not now. Kika got to be careful. Fearing a push in the meantime, Adren's going to make inroads towards a long position. Maybe feeling like HellRaisers had an investment towards short and long would be weak. Either way, they've got a numbers advantage, and it's made even better with Nuki getting taken out. Spotting an AWP towards the car. There's a beautiful jump throw Molotov, and Kika is ready for Issa moving out of position. Awesome stuff. AVANGAR looking strong, looking for revenge. They're angry as they make their way towards the A-bomb site.
Yeah, this is really cool, actually, because, again, like, the tactical timeout came in. They got to discuss what approach they wanted to take. What haven't they done in a long time? They haven't gone for a fast, long play. And, HellRaisers definitely a bit more chilled out, because there's not been too much action towards that at the early timings in the round, as AVANGAR have been playing slow all the rounds before this. Angel with a nice headshot position. Look at that. Only gets to 1, though. And he was, of course, destined for failure, I should say, up against 5 players and a ticking bomb. But AVANGAR pick up another one. And the money, though, is still going to be good for HellRaisers to get a buy-in. But, again, it's all AVANGAR, isn't it? I wonder if we'll see another long take coming in from them. It looks like a few players looking towards B here. Maybe not. Now looking back towards A. Trying to read into which direction they're looking at the beginning in freeze time. Not working out for me. So 3 players towards long, perhaps. If for HellRaisers. Got to be careful here, James.
Ooh, double Molotovs. Want to make extra sure they don't make their way through long. Initial push has failed. 2 rounds remain in this first half. See the cross being made. James continues to have interest in those long doors, and why not? Oscar having a peek earlier on, losing momentum, but again, James does have a big focus. So I don't think we've seen that normal peek he goes for near the Xbox position, but he does seem to be heading in that direction. Slowly edging forward, checking angle after angle, and maybe he's going to set up for it.
I love how AVANGAR flash for each other. They're very methodical. Some of these flashes also I haven't seen before. This will be a somewhat standard one. Oscar position, Molly, flash. And Oscar's been dealt with. as would any CT be dealt with who might be standing with him. Sometimes you have a rifler standing with the AWPer. As the AWPer drops off, the rifler can, you know, the AWPer serves as the bait for the rifler. But AVANGAR really, they are crossing every T, dotting every I. They are so methodical with how they move across the map. And here comes those smokes again. And in goes Sanji. 2 players on Goose. That's unusual. Maybe it works out for here for HellRaisers.
Oscar doesn't know where to go because of the Molotov. There's so many flashes as well. They're lining up for Sanji. Buster with the assist with the flashbang. Lowell's holding down a long position. AVANGAR threw a smoke into the B bomb site to offer some kind of light fake, but there were still 4 players waiting around the A bomb site from HellRaisers, but to no avail. The Molotovs forced them from their positions around that Goose area. AVANGAR just leave little room for HellRaisers to wriggle on the A bomb site.
It's amazing because HellRaisers are playing a setup where it's that classic oldest trick in the book, 2-man setup on the same position. You get Oscar to peek, and it probably, you know, gets a kill, dies, and then they don't look in that position. The rifler pops out when they try to plant the bomb, sprays down everyone. That's like how that's supposed to go. But again, I mean, this might be another round for you, James, to cover in a video, because if you watched AVANGAR from top mid all the way onto the bomb site, it's like every 10 feet. They had a flashbang, they had a Molotov, they had a smoke, you know, everything in the right place for every single position, every single setup, every single play that the CTs could possibly make would have been shut down by those grenades. I just loved how methodical that was, and that just really speaks to the quality here. Because look at this, we've got the perfect setup for the molly on the ramp, the perfect molly for the player on Goose. There's just nothing that HellRaisers could have done there.
Reminds me of Mousesports' T sides on the old Dust 2. Especially around a short area. They were very meticulous with the flashbangs and so on, and it was a great example to show people during matches. But AVANGAR's T side of Dust 2 has been quite enjoyable so far. Now we move into the last round of the first half. Everybody is here. Adren moving towards the car position. This time Sanji can't trade. Lowell holding his area down. He needs help though. He needs flashes. Here comes a flash. Will it come in time though? It will. 3rd kill for Lowell. Now there's a man advantage for HellRaisers, and it gets better as Angel moves in and just sweeps the last round for HellRaisers. 6-9 at half-time.
Big result there, 6 rounds in a game like this. AVANGAR look dominant. Will they continue that dominance? We're going to find out. Stay tuned. We'll see you after the break.
Second half is about to begin. The teams swap sides. HellRaisers will now be the aggressors. But with so much momentum and strength shown by AVANGAR in the first half, do they have it to make a mental comeback, let alone a physical one? HellRaisers. We haven't seen any P250s yet. On Dust 2, for me, they're a must. I suppose if you're going towards the B bomb site, not necessarily. Again, Lowell with a good hold here in the last round. You can see him looking away as the flashbang came in from his teammate, and Angel slid through the door to clean up. I've seen some nice multi-frags from Angel in this game. Okay, so 4 players of Kevlar, no P250s. That makes me sad, especially because they're not going for a straight B play. Again, the difference is a P250 will give you almost double the one-shot range to the head over a Glock when no one has a helmet. So it can make a hell of a difference on a T-side pistol. But we don't have one of those here for HellRaisers.
And I think this side, you know, this half is going to be so different here for HellRaisers, because you feel so stifled on the CT side of this map. It's very hard to get aggressive, very hard to force your will. Maybe not half for Adren though. Nice little peek from Catwalk to pick off one. HellRaisers will be moving towards his position with a vengeance as they look to try to get him. But he has made his way to cover. Sanji with a headshot angle there towards the low ground. It's a bit scary. All your body's showing, but only their heads are showing. But still, it works out here for AVANGAR. They will defend A beautifully well. Oscar, he needs more, but he can't get anything. Now it's down to Issa against 4 players. And the trade's there. AVANGAR, they pick up the pistol.
They don't deserve to win without P250. That's how I feel about it. I feel strongly about P250 in a pistol round. So there. That's my opinion. Double figures for AVANGAR. 10 rounds to the 6 of HellRaisers. Adren with some poking and prodding in that short position, moving over towards the A site and doing the same. Oscar's picked up a scout, and we've got a lot of deagles. We've gone for a T-side force buy on Dust 2. What have you got in store for this? Some shots through the door, no connection made just yet. There are some smokes and flashes here for HellRaisers. They could poke through the doors. There's finally a tag for Oscar. You don't want to give that man too many opportunities.
Yeah, when there's a scout in play on the T side, like on a map like this, you just have to try to just force the Ts onto a bomb site. Because if you take a tag or two, those deagles now, they can suddenly one-shot you with a meaty shot to the chest. So you have to be extremely careful. Scouts are such a game changer. Look at the setup from AVANGAR. I like this. They're focusing those close-range weapons on this short position where they got a lot of strength. They can get those very fast Y peaks with the running. And there it is. There's that running Y peak from Adren. He gets a headshot. A third one maybe, maybe not. As he falls back, he's got 2 players to play off of as he stays in position, committing Nuki into that one with the Molotov. And they are just going to sweep the leg. And that's HellRaisers heading the deck. 11 rounds for AVANGAR. It looked dangerous, James. That scout tag, I was afraid, but they survived with 5.
Dan, we spoke about Nuki.
Yeah.
He's 1 for 12.
Indeed, indeed. He could not find his footing on the CT side, but it doesn't surprise me too much as a newer player into the team. It's really difficult if you're getting crushed on that CT side. And I think he was getting disabled pretty effectively by AVANGAR.
He is off the radar. Oh, the double H. He's top mid.
Oh!
Give it to me. And Nuki goes 1 for 13. Didn't even see anybody in that round. Pot shots being taken by AVANGAR. Enjoying the comfort, feeling secure. They've got their security blanket, tucking their thumb. Got the warm milk. Feeling good, man.
Got the bib. Don't forget the bib, James.
They got the bib.
Love a good bib.
Does he see? Does he not see? Looks like he doesn't.
It's so funny when that we can see they're just staring at each other, but obviously they can't know that.
Looks like this half is going to start with HellRaisers at half the score of their opponent.
Yeah.
6-12, looking very likely. We've got a P250 and a Glock to combat 5 CTs who do not respect your map control.
The interesting thing, though, James, is that I wonder, because this is quite unusual to see 4 MP9s. So, if we assume that AVANGAR go into this next round without losing anybody, which looks to be the case here, do they upgrade these MP9s, or do they try to do something a bit crazy, like a mid-push, like we saw HellRaisers do with the MP9s?
Well, they could be aggressive on shorts. For example, playing at close quarters, they could try to secure long, but I don't know if they're going to be able to take shorts afterwards. But you want the close quarters engagements, right? Keep money together. And
I think maybe you don't actually want to take long, because if you take long, when you rotate out, if the Ts go towards catwalk, your duels with that MP9 will absolutely suck. So we do see some upgrades here. Double. That's actually a couple upgrades that make a lot of sense. Keep a couple MP9s, and here they go. That's what the MP9 does. Just gets out into position so fast. The run and gun, and HE to follow it up. Sanji with another one. Oh my god.
They've almost taken no damage. This Adren is at 50 HP. This is unbelievable. This is a masterclass we're seeing from AVANGAR at the moment. With the SMGs. Look at the upgrades. Look at the upgrades. They've got 2 AWPs, two AK-47s, 3 AK-47s. Wow. Oh my god. They've just taken everything. They've pillaged the village.
Yeah. They put the...
That's unreal.
They put the MP9s in the Heradric cube. Got an AK-47.
They don't need to spend any money, or maybe a little bit money. But they didn't really need to spend any money in the next round. I mean, I don't mind Sanji. He's looking for the hunt there because there's nothing Oscar can really do but save the weapon. But really, realistically, they didn't need to spend any money. They just took everything away from the armory. They went to the ammunition and just drove a car through the window. And here they are. They could even have 3 AWPs if they wanted it. That was so beautiful from AVANGAR. The use of flashbangs to get into position, the Molotov to isolate the players, the HEs, the fadeaway HE. Issa just walked into it. Had no idea what was coming his way. That was awesome.
One of the cool things is that, you know, HellRaisers, you know, this is no disrespect in any way to them. You know, sometimes, you know, you just have a situation that's not ideal. But AVANGAR, they've been hard at work for a very long time, James. And you can really see that they have worked very hard for this. And the rounds they're winning and the way in which they're winning them, yeah, sure, there have been some clutches here or there. But ultimately, if you look at how methodical the approach has been and the kind of tech, as you'd say in this fighting game scene, kind of stuff we're seeing from them in terms of tactics that they've put to use in the style of play, the timings, the defaults, the way that everything is drilled, the pacing, the spacing. It's just the result of just so much hard work, and I think it's pretty clear. And you've got to respect that. They are really working hard, and it reminds me when you watched, you know, ENCE's rise a little bit, because you looked at ENCE, you're like, there's nothing that stands out per se on the individuals. Yeah, they got great individual skill, but it's actually just the hard work as a team that really stands out, that makes the difference. And you do get that sense from AVANGAR a lot of the time. And
they're going to have so much money, AVANGAR. They're going to have so much money. The flashbangs just as Angel's going to peak. This is so sick to watch.
I have to say also that seeing a Dren find a place on AVANGAR is really exciting, because although I'm a huge fan of a Dren and I'm a fan of FaZe and everything like that, I never felt like he was a player that fit on that team. Even, you know, when it was announced, before they played any games, it just didn't seem to quite make sense in my head. But obviously, playing in, you know, a team that's, you know, of his region makes a lot more sense, and he is looking extremely motivated, James. He's looking very sharp. And, right, well, HellRaisers, they're back on the buy here. Oscar on the AWP. Let's see if they can find something. Flashbang to push away any AWPers from mid so that the approach towards Catwalk's a little bit more clean. You can see that it's done its job. Single flashbang, single spend of $200 can really mean a lot if it's placed correctly.
All of AVANGAR so far. Short has been taken by HellRaisers. Kiket not too concerned with long. He's going to move over towards the A-bomb site with his teammates. I like the molly behind the smoke. You can see that's the normal smoke you have to set up for the grenades towards A, as we mentioned in the first half. But I really feel like you don't see enough HEs behind that from CT sides when those are going on. Will anybody spot a Dren in this position? I'm not really sure how much he'll poke out depending on the angle from the T side, but he's got plenty of distraction, or he did have. Sanji's taken out. Kika still making a play. He let the first one go past, the second one go past. Can he get the multi-frag? He can. While his teammates still alive in the meantime, the third as well for a Dren, leaving Issa on a 1 versus 2. Buster and Jame on the low ground. This is a little awkward for them, but they've got the sound cues. They can hear him moving around. You can see Buster making his way towards a short position. Now Issa's got to be careful. Jame creeping around the corner in the meantime. 25 seconds. Issa, he's got some time to find an elimination. If anybody was in CT spawn, they would have seen his shadow there as he jumps onto the ridge because of how the shadows work. James going to poke out. 1-2. And there's match point for AVANGAR. 9 of them.
What a clean game so far from AVANGAR. So for those of you, if you just joined us, obviously maybe it's not the best timing considering that this may just be over in a second, but HellRaisers, the only, like half of their rounds came off the back of a pistol victory on the first half. So that's half of all their rounds. That kind of sucks. It's been such a dominant play from AVANGAR. And I would be afraid to play AVANGAR on this map. They're actually playing it in a style that is better than the vast majority of teams I've seen that actually like to play this map. A lot of teams miss the utility, but here comes a fast play from HellRaisers into the B. The Hail Mary into B. Let's see if it's going to work out for them. They do get a bomb plant out of it, a 4 versus 4, but there's now the last smoke has been deployed, and there is now no post-plant utility really for the HellRaisers side.
Yeah, I feel like AVANGAR could have held on to that incendiary that they just threw through the window for the retake attempt if they are actually going to go for this. To limit the position, since they've got 3 coming through the tunnel. The spray transfer is not quite there. 2 versus 2, though. Now, with these AWPs, they could be worth holding on to, because that is a lot of money. Buster still close to the window, however. Maybe they just go for the eliminations now. Seems that's going to be the case. Just make the T's die on their sword. Nisa's left with 27 HP. I don't think he's going to make it. P250 patiently finishes him off as well. So nobody survives the HellRaisers. That's the best way for AVANGAR to lose a round.
One more round. That's all they need. It feels as though AVANGAR are so focused right now, they may not even realize what the score is. That's a thing. That is a thing. We've all experienced it. You get so dialed into what's going on. Sometimes you forget what the bigger picture is. You just execute your plan. And you see AVANGAR playing a fairly standard setup here, although they will have a fast presence on Catwalk. Buster with the orb looking deep, catches Angel going for a walk, and he will be punished. And that's not a good start, because if you look at the situation for HellRaisers, they have 1 smoke grenade. They have 1 smoke grenade. That's it. And given the positions that they have right now, a single smoke has best value on for the B split cross. So if you throw it for CT spawn, that's pretty much the most valuable spot you can throw it at this point. And there's 3 players on B here. AVANGAR, James, they're completely set up to defend anything towards B here.
Buster. Is he playing through that tiny crack in the wall? Not going too far. Neither is Lowell. 1 minute on the clock. You can see 3 players now moving towards the B bomb site. And they're all going to defend from inside the tunnel, it seems. A little jiggle. A beautiful shot. I'm surprised he didn't go for a TK there. 3v3. This is a really weird situation. I'm not expecting that. No multi-frag this time. 2v2 as the last 2 players come in from the A bomb site for AVANGAR. James holding an angle for now while Adren makes some inroads. Issa will stand by the tunnel. Smoke off the door. Big flash from James. Moves close now. No mollies for AVANGAR. And this is where saving those AWPs comes in handy, some extra money, because it could be another costly round for them, or it could be the final round. A HE from Adren not going to land on Nuki, some pre-fight. He's got another HE though, that one might do the job, it will! Leaving Issa in 1 versus 2 now, fighting for survival. Crouching by the car, takes Adren out, 1 versus 1. The bomb is so fast, it doesn't really need to speak. There's a huge headshot from him though, and HellRaisers are still alive. 1 player surviving.
Wow. What a weird setup for AVANGAR. I don't think I've ever seen that. You get 3 players kind of in the tunnels for the B defense. That's so crazy. 3 because if you have 3 players, I mean, you can do that setup with 2, I guess, and have like 1 on, like deeper on the bomb side for more coverage. But they really put all their chips or all their eggs in 1 basket, and that basket was thrown off the skyscraper. AVANGAR, though, still with money. Although if they lose this round, all of a sudden it's starting to look very doable for HellRaisers. Angel, he understands what's up with that smoke. Catching Kiko with a lot of damage. Down to 30. It's like he received a max damage combo from Zangief, James.
Nobody wants to receive that. Minute 30 on the clock. HellRaisers moving through the middle position. Some grenades being deployed. Sanji hears some sound cues. And that'll cost AVANGAR some utility. Only 1 player's gone through the doors so far. Waiting for a response from AVANGAR. Sanji has a look, falls back. Nice spray from him. Issa and Angel are pretty low. Now we've got CT's top mid as well. And HellRaisers haven't really committed into the B bomb site just yet. So this could really go either way. It's a 50-50. 2 by the tunnel, 2 by the window, 1 by the door. And they are surrounded by AVANGAR. They've got a big NS at the moment. And here come the frags. There's a team kill on the B bomb site. 2 versus 3 in favor of AVANGAR. They spot the cross. They're all by CT now.
Smoke there onto the doors from the CTs, actually. I think that was supposed to go a little bit deeper so that it suggests that the CTs can run through. But 2 CTs coming from the tunnels, and there's a smoke there just freshly popped down by the Ts. It's quite deep as well, so it might be favorable for the CTs as they push forwards. The shots missed from Oscar. Nice.